There are mainly two types of marriage in Nigeria: customary marriage and marriage under the Act. In respect to marriage under the Act, some Nigerians seem to be thrown into confusion over the judgment by a federal high court sitting in Lagos on a suit between Etiosa Local Government Council and Ministry of Interior, where the court held that local government councils are statutorily responsible for issuing marriage certificates in Nigeria, resulting in news making the rounds that marriages conducted at Ministry of Interior, particularly the Ikoyi Marriage Registry, are not valid. Is this true? Where is the appropriate place to have marriage under the Act conducted in Nigeria? Local government councils or Ministry of Interior? I am Blessing Eichi. You're watching Viewpoint on ITV.
In the first instance, the local government has the right to issue certificate of marriage. That's the first basic point. But we had issues in the few years back with foreign diasporas. Those people that are in diaspora, most time when they get married in the local government, they are being requested to bring a certificate approved by the Ministry of Interior, either Abuja or Lagos, that we had stress to go to those people to get those certificates before it being approved in the diaspora. So what I see here is a kind of a confusion between the Ministry of Interior based on financial interest, political interest. I just tell the truth. Because in all sincerity, the way it has been going on so far, it has gone well. People get married in the local government, they go to the Interior to certify it for external purpose. It has gone well. But with this confusion brought that whatever that has been done so far at the Interior Ministry is illegal and null and void, what do you want to tell thousands of our brothers that are in abroad that because of the request made by the foreign countries that they must get an Interior Ministry approval to certify their marriages, do you want to tell me they are all null and void? It's impossible. What I see the federal government should do is a separation of arm of government, but there's union of arm of government. The federal government should state clearly out who and who should issue certificate of marriage. If it's the local government, they should certify. If the Ministry of Interior should say, then those in diaspora that need the certification of Interior Ministry will go to the local government, get their own certificate, and it will be approved as well. And then the foreign countries will also approve those certificates. Because the way they brought this judgment, you are going to make a lot of our brothers unmarried. I remember when I got married at Oredo local government. I did the marriage, I did everything. Oredo have certified it. When I got to Germany, it was not accepted. I had no choice than to go to Lagos to go and recertify those certificates before the German government was able to approve it, before the marriage was accepted.
I think the federal government has actually reacted positively to that, stating that Federal Marriage Registry is the main place where you get statutory marriages conducted. And it is stated by the Principal Registrar of Marriages in Nigeria, who is recognized by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to be in charge of marriages, all marriages conducted in this country. He is in charge of federal marriage registries. He established the federal marriage registries. And basically, any appointment done or all marriages registries established by the Principal Registrar of Marriages in Nigeria are recognized by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So, our people should be rest assured, as it has been stated by the press statement of the federal government, that all marriages conducted in federal marriage registries is strictly based on the provisions of the law and is recognized internationally.
Well, first of all, those who got married in the Ikoyi registry, if I take for example, if I fell into that kind of situation, I would just go and have my marriage certificate from the registry revalidated. That's what I would do. As to whether federal government is saying the Ikoyi registry is valid and the court is saying it's not valid, it's entirely up to them. But rather than being caught in the web, I would just do the needful, like many people have started to do. They have started to go to revalidate their marriage licenses. That is for the people who have used the court certificates as their only source of being legally married. If you know that you really do want to get married and you want to use the courts or the registry or whatever as your means of legality in marriage, then find out the proper thing so that you are not caught in all of these situations, if you ask me.
The only area of contention is the provision in the Marriage Act which specify that the minister that will appoint registrars or deputy registrars who will be in charge of conducting marriages, and the required forms shall be filled. Whereas when we went to Oredo to the local government council at the point, the various forms as required by the act were also followed. There were notice of marriage that were filled and published. There were registrar certificate that was also issued. There are registrars also appointed at the local government council. Whether the registrars were appointed by the Federal Ministry of Interior or which other organs, I do not know. So in order to put an end to all of this, the Federal Ministry of Interior can appoint registrars for the local government council. You can appoint a registrar and send them to the local government council to conduct marriages, and when it is done, they can also register it, rather than simply saying that it's only Federal Ministry of Interior that will get it done, and then the local government council has nothing to do with it. So in which case, people like us now who are married in the local government council following the provision of the marriage or the Marriage Act, then because it didn't come from the Ministry of Interior, then it is invalid. Or as it is being said now that marriages conducted by the local government council are valid. That is what it said. It didn't say the ones conducted by the Federal Ministry of Interior are invalid. It didn't say so. So it's trying to create a balance to say yes, the first schedule provided for the registration of marriages, but as sponsor for the local government councils, whereas Marriage Act provided for Federal Ministry of Interior to create districts, for celebrating conducting marriages where they can appoint registrars and the deputy registrars. So they should find a way of harmonizing it. All these judgments being peddled are all judgments of the State High Court or Federal High Court. The Court of Appeal has not decided on the matter. So my position is that they should test this matter before the Court of Appeal, maybe ultimately to the Supreme Court, so that we can have this matter resolved once and for all. Because before they provided for registration of marriage in the first schedule of the Constitution as function for the local government council, it therefore means that they have the intention of charging them without the capability of conducting marriages. How can you go and register a marriage that you do not conduct? Or you are charged with registering birth, registering death, registering marriages. And then another by the Marriage Act, Federal Ministry of Interior shall appoint registrars who will be in charge of conducting the marriages. So when you now conduct, I'll go and register in local government council. It doesn't make sense. So the local government council that can also register can also conduct the marriage by extension. So as far as they follow the provision of the Marriage Act.
Let me first of all start by saying that we have two types of marriages in Nigeria. One, we have the traditional marriage, we have the statutory marriage. Traditional marriages are done in accordance to the tradition and custom of the people, while the statutory marriage is an English marriage and it is conducted in a licensed place of worship. And that is why it is not in all churches or all mosques that you conduct statutory marriages. It must be licensed, must be a licensed place of worship. Now, local government is a place that is licensed for you to go and conduct your marriages. And so local government registry is a valid place where you conduct your marriages, and it is upheld. So this issue of the Ministry of Interior trying to take over the duties of local government, I think is most embarrassing. The reason why the Ministry of Interior has come to this is that some people, some embassies, they said no, When any marriage certificate you bring for local government is not valid, and so Ministry of Interior now took it over, and this has never been, and so that is why we commend the efforts of the judge at the High Court in Lagos, which told us that look, this marriages conducted by local government is valid. Since there is a judgment on it, the government should come and define that this place, if you marry in local government registry, is valid. When you marry in Ministry of Interior, is valid. Instead of, because people now feel that, oh, those marriages conducted in local government registry is invalid. Meanwhile, it's valid. It's valid. And so the government should come and address the people that the marriage conducted in local government is valid. And so I agree totally with the judgment of the High Court of Lagos State.
While the federal government as well as the Ministry of Interior have said marriages conducted at the Ikoyi Marriage Registry and others are valid, legal practitioners have also said the judgment by the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos does not invalidate marriages conducted at Ministry of Interior or local government councils, as they are both valid. However, they have called on the federal government to wade into the matter further by way of an appeal on the judgment or legislation in order to come up with a defined place where marriage under the Act can be celebrated in Nigeria. I am Blessing AEG.